Dear colleagues, this intraocular lens has become opaque. The patient underwent cataract surgery and intraocular lens implantation elsewhere few years back, and the patient has come to us with diminished vision. On examination, we find that this lens has become opaque and there is a lot of posterior capsular opacification. I've taken up this case for surgery. Let us observe the surgical steps. This is almost unedited surgery. The main incision has been made and the anterior chamber is being filled up with SPMC. Here it is. And in this case, I'm trying to open up the capsular bag by injecting viscoat under the anterior capsular rim. But I am struggling to get underneath the anterior capsular rim. The anterior capsular rim is firmly adherent to the intraocular lens in many places. So I'm just teasing the margin of the rhexis and now this is a paracentesis at around 3 o'clock. Now I have taken a Sinskey hook and I am just separating the margin of the rhexis from the intraocular lens, and here as I try to pull the lens, I find that it is firmly adherent to the bag. So here I am injecting viscoat and I find that it is going into the capsular bag. Yes, it has almost half of the bag has been separated. Half of the posterior capsule has got separated from the posterior surface of the IOL. Now I'm injecting viscoat from the side port through the side port into the at around 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and I could nicely inject some amount of viscoat. And here it is. I'm injecting viscoat all around. Here I could inject all around. And I find that the haptic is mobile. Very good, excellent. It has come out without damaging the bag. And this haptic is also free. Wow, I am very happy. The bag is intact and the lens that has been here for more than 2 years is free and it is coming out of the capsular bag. And now my plan is to cut this lens. One haptic has not yet come out. So I am dialing the lens and I find that the other haptic is free and it has come out. It is over the iris now. And I have aligned the lens in such a way that I can cut it very easily. I'm enlarging the main incision a little bit. Suppose the main incision, size of the main incision will be about 3.5 millimeter now. Injecting visco, this is SPMC both in front and behind the IOL, and this is an instrument, it's an IOL cutter. It fixes the IOL and you can cut the intraocular lens comfortably with this instrument. It is an IOL cutter from Epsilon. Here I'm just supporting the lens, the Sinskey hook through the side port, and very comfortably cutting the lens. Yes. Without this instrument, it is very difficult to cut this lens. This is a very stout instrument. No financial instrument, just the information has been passed just to help you. And now I want to pull the lens out. I place the haptic just in front of the main wound so that I can hold it with a McPherson's. Yes, I'm pulling it, and yes, I have pulled it. Half of the lens is out and the other half is coming out. So it has been a very satisfactory surgery till now. At this moment I find that there are a lot of cells over the posterior capsule. This is a thick posterior capsular opacification, and I am just trying to remove these cells with the help of these Simcoe cannula, and gradually the cells are coming off. The bag is intact. In this case I have selected sensor multipiece intraocular lens because I thought I may have to cut the lens near the haptics, and I may have to put the lens in the sulcus. But in this case the whole lens has come out and the bag is intact, and I'll be able to place the lens in the capsular bag. So very patiently at this moment I am removing the cells sticking to the posterior capsule, and you can say this is some kind of polishing of the posterior capsule. We may take bimanual irrigation aspiration also, and with capsular vacuum mode, capsule polishing mode, we can remove these cells. This is the irrigating probe of bimanual IA. I'm just, this I call hydro polish. Just use the fluid jet, sweep it over the posterior capsule, and the posterior capsule gets polished very nicely. I have found that in capsular vacuum mode or capsule polishing mode, pissarent can occur, but with this technique, with hydro polish, so far pissarent has not occurred. Now here goes the intraocular lens. This is sensor multi-piece intraocular lens from Abbott Medical Optics. The leading haptic is going into the capsular bag. The trailing haptic is some viscoelastic substance is injected. Now the trailing haptic is sealed with a McPherson's forceps, and it is placed in the capsular bag in this way. And now the viscoelastic substance that has been used to implant this intraocular lens is removed thoroughly. I have used a Simcoe cannula to irrigate the anterior chamber and the capsular bag, and now I'm irrigating the anterior chamber. This irrigating probe of bimanual IA, and now I'm using irrigation and aspiration together, and I find that the posterior capsule is very clean. I'm injecting an air bubble to maintain the intraocular pressure. This is a bit of moxifloxacin. Now I hydrate corneal stroma to close these paracenteses at 3 o'clock. In this case, I have hydrated the edges of the main wound also. And now this is the final lavage of the anterior chamber. The anterior chamber is nicely formed, and then the intraocular pressure is checked digitally. The integrity of the wounds are checked. There should not be any leakage from any side. Thank you very much for watching. These are the post-op pictures.